Hey, hello everyone. Hello, Srivastava. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right. Very good. I'm gonna make you a host so that you should be able to switch on your video.
Right, right.
Please go ahead and see if we can do that.
Yes, I can.
Good to see you. How are
Good to see
you?
you. I'm doing good, sir. How about you?
I'm good as well. Thank you for taking time.
Okay.
Good. So I think it's 3 o'clock. We can start. Hello everyone. My name is Ashok Veda, and I have Anuj Srivastava with me, and he successfully transitioned to AI ML career. Right now, joining as an intern with Roombr, and it will be stipulated to a full time after a few months. And he has taken the AI. Which course you have taken, Srivastava? Is it CDS or AI engineer?
Yeah, certified data scientist, CDS.
CDS. So certified data scientist is a course he has opted for DataMites, and it's a success story. So the goal of this session is to understand his journey and his profile, and probably the people who are online can ask some questions, and then add some value to the people who are aspiring to pursue the career track. Right. All right. So with that, Srivastava, to you, first of all, congratulations on your success.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So please go ahead and introduce your profile first before you started pursuing this track, and then yeah.
Okay, okay. So, I'm Anuj Srivastava, and uh, I belong to Jaunpur, Uttar Pradesh, and I'm currently pursuing my master's in chemical engineering at IIT Kharagpur. Oh, so since when I decided to join masters, I've always dreamt of changing my career from core engineering branch to AI ML field. So that's I started looking for the opportunity to from where to start and from where to get the whole process starting. So I came to know about DataMites and about it's a very prestigious course which is certified data scientist. I explored and researched a little bit about it. I found it very inclined with my interest and with my requirements. So I joined that course, and then the process started. And successful. And after about 8 to 9 months, I was able to transition my career from engineering background to AI/ML background. Yeah, that's a brief about how I started my journey.
Okay, good. Why do you want to? What inspired you to actually look into the data science as a career?
Okay, after my graduation, I worked like for a little bit in the core engineering background. I was not very interested. It was not a great learning experience for me. Then I started preparing for GATE and decided then onwards that when I'll get to a good institute, I'll start preparing for AIML career. And when I started studying about data science and all stuffs about AI, I was very interested, very keen to explore more about the same. So, and it became my passion to pursue career, my upcoming career in AI ML. So that's how it started.
Okay, I think it's a typical story.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, obviously, it's a limited opportunities in your field, and people who wants to explore a broader career options. When
Yes.
they search online, this AI, ML, and data science it actually comes at the top, right? It's one of the first. Not everyone actually pursue it because it looks very scary for a lot of people. It's like
Exactly. Exactly.
artificial intelligence is like, okay, you know what? This is not what I'm gonna pursue. But there are some brave people like you who will take a step ahead, do more research, understand how it works, then get the
The same thing happened with me also. Like when I started reading about it, started like doing hands-on. So it was very scary, like whether I'll be able to do it or not, because I'm from not for the from the coding background. So from a core chemical engineering background, it's not very easy. Like it's basically start from the mindset that you start believing in yourself that you can do it, then you start doing well in the career.
yeah, being scared is not wrong because if you really look at AI, the field of AI or data science, because we use AI in data science, is actually considered as rocket science. 10 years ago, right? Before 2015, you can only have a handful of people who actually work on this, mostly researchers, right? Or maybe very senior level engineers in Google or Meta, right? So it's actually considered as rocket science. So I started in 2015. When I took up this, I was like, okay, there was not much of metal in 2015. That was when it's actually starting, right? It
Okay.
was a rocket science, it was scary, but thanks to the community, a lot of things become democratized. So anyone who wants to learn, now it's relatively easy because you're hardly worried about how an algorithm actually works, isn't it?
Right.
You really don't look into the mathematics of it, in fact.
Right.
Right? So you basically apply. So I would rather say you're applied AI engineer because
Mhm.
you're not doing anything core AI contributing the field itself. You're
Exactly.
using the AI for different business applications. So to
Right.
be more precise, it's an applied AI.
Exactly.
Very good. So you pulled up yourself to got enough courage, and then you
Yes.
inquired about there's a course. And then when did you join this course?
So I joined in the month of March, March end, and started learning in Apple from April onwards,
So
2023.
23 April. So
Yeah.
it's 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's an average time. Even the course itself takes about 8 months, and then about
Exactly.
4 months.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, good. So when you started in April, obviously I think the course would have started from Python, isn't it? How did you find Python? Like how much time it took for you?
So Python was not very, I would won't rate it as a tough language to learn, but it was fairly easy to learn because I can find like most of the logic what I'm thinking in my mind I can write in as a code. That's what I believe. Like Python is very good for non coding background candidates, that we can start from Python. That's one thing I loved about Python. And basically employing Python, using Python to do a whole stuff of data analysis was very interesting, was very like it was very interesting process. So that's how that prompted me to learn more about Python. And the important thing is we don't have to master the whole Python language to be a good data scientist or data analyst. So that's what was very helpful, because I only need to learn like useful stuff to do the required task.
Correct. So rightly said, sure. So Python is a easy language. In fact, it's the number one language as we speak, and that's because it's easy, because the adaptability comes first, right?
Exactly.
And that's one of the reason it is everywhere. You look at IoT, Internet of Things, or cybersecurity, or anything with robotics or data science and AI. All of these fields use Python
Yes.
for the simple reason that it is easy and it has both the features. Low level, if you're using cybersecurity hacking, we use that. I'm from cybersecurity as well. We go to the low level language features. If you're using for data science and AI, we use a very nice APIs which is built so easily. You just have
Right.
to play with for enough, apply it enough, and then you get a hang of it, right?
Right.
How
Right.
much time it took for you to get a comfortable with Python?
It took around 2 to 3 months, like to get comfortable around Python. I was doing hands-on, like constantly day in day out with Python. So it took around 2 to 3 months to get comfortable with Python. Yeah.
That's on about an average. Typically, 4 to 6 weeks is what people take on an average. 6 weeks is an average, so about on an average. Okay, so after that, the other topics, statistics, machine learning. How did you find them?
So, talking about statistics, that was like I'm from engineering background, so maths is it's a like it's a constant. Like when you do come from engineering background, maths is a constant subject you like study. So statistics was not a big problem for me. It was very easy, very intuitive, I must say. Like whenever you solve a business problem, you always use statistics concepts to know the whole end-to-end things, what is happening behind the algorithm, or what is statistics providing to the business. So that was very interesting. I was very keen to learn statistics and how it is providing value to different businesses. So statistics were very easy. Coming to the machine learning, that was starting at the starting, like talking about the like linear starting algorithms, like from the family of linear algorithms. That was very easy. When it started with SVM, that maths of SVM is fairly like little bit of like on the tougher side. And then coming to the trees, algorithm based on trees, like recent trees and random forest. The random forest was very interesting to learn. So machine learning was like mix of both, like easy and tough, was mix of both.
Correct. So what we should understanding how the boundaries are calculated, how the hyperplane is calculated.
Yes.
From a mathematics perspective, is difficult. But if you look at when you apply any machine learning algorithm, it's more or less same. And you play with a bunch of hyperparameters
Yes.
and mostly done on the data engineering level. So that's what actually decides a good model. Okay, wonderful. So you completed your phase two comfortably. And then what kind of projects you have done? What was like, I hope you worked in a group, isn't it? In phase
Yes.
three, you have,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
could you
Yes.
could you could you tell me more about your group and what projects you have done?
So we had a group of 4 people. We took on 4 projects. But first project was a Portuguese bank marketing project. Insurance claim prediction was one of the project that we took. So it was very interesting. That was, for example, using data science or the concepts of data science in banking domain is getting much traction these days. Like there are plenty of opportunities in banking domain. Like once we know the data concepts. So I was eager to get to took on the projects that were working with finance because I myself is interested in finance very much. So I was eager to get those projects. So my group mates were also very comfortable with those projects or topic that we were chosen, and we successfully completed the whole 4 projects that we took on.
Okay, so very good. So mostly into banking and finance, and you completed all the four
Yeah.
project. What was the live project you have
Yeah.
done? The a client.
It was that was a client project. It was about increasing sales effectiveness of it was one of the client that Fixon.
Is
There's
it a
one
lead scoring?
project that is
It's a
yeah,
lead
leads
scoring.
to increase the lead accuracy.
Lead,
Yes,
lead
yes, yes.
scoring.
So
So what
uh,
we generally
about
we categorize lead
yeah,
scoring. It's one of the because you know what any business it's about conversion. The sales is what most of the business, including your IT companies, and lead scoring has become a very important use case because it essentially assigns you how hot it is. You can also
so
think about who could convert better this lead because based on the previous data. That's what the classification does. And there are many sub-use
okay.
cases, but lead scoring is overall these things. How does this live project
Yes.
help in your interviews? Did you speak about it in your interviews?
When I was interviewed with Roombr, so first at starting they asked about like to introduce myself, and then they like asked like to explain briefly about what projects I have done. Like I explained my client project over there, and they asked more things about it, like what was the data set like, and which algorithm you used, and how you did the data pre-processing, and with machine learning that you applied. And after that there was one project that they asked me to explain end to end, like from where you got data and from how you like from data pre-processing and like model building. That was the whole interview process. Like I explained my live project with the Roomba during my interview.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, the way you're explaining, even I would hire you. So I think your company is actually on the positive side. I mean, they're good to have you, and I'm pretty sure you will perform better. So thank you for all of your walkthrough, and then I wanted to explain you or at least share your learning experience from an audience perspective because, as you know, I mean, a lot of your own batchmates would have been still trying, right?
Yes.
So there is a difference between people who cross this bar to actually get into the job market,
Yeah.
and the people who are still trying, and some people actually give up, right?
Right. Right.
I have my own opinions, but I would like to hear you. What makes you or people like you successful? What is that factor which makes you more, yeah, getting into the job? Yeah.
So talking about like myself, like when I started like learning about data science and the field, I was naturally very interested with the concept that I was learning. For example, starting from Python, statistics, machine learning, or deep learning algorithms, I was very interested. Like I can visualize those algorithms working on the real world scenarios or real world problems. So that was the like driving force behind my learning. And I was very, when you are interested in something that you keep on doing in day in day out, and so you don't look at the watch and what time it is. So you keep on working hard because you're enjoying the process. That's what my motto was. Like I was enjoying the process, and even my friends, like in my friend circle, like if someone is asking about like what is data science, I once I start to speak, I don't stop. Like yeah, yeah. So I was naturally very interested in the whole concept of data science. So that's what drive me to do well in
So,
the.
so what you're saying is you fall in love with the data science and
Exactly.
then
Yes,
it's
sir.
finally so I mean of course if you like you have passion there is no stopping. That's why I told when I'm talking to you I said your employer is more luckier than having you because I can already see that, right? So to just summarize that, if you love it, if you have a passion, then you basically spend more time and not just more time, but more focused time, right? And then you eventually get on there. And I have another question because it's interesting. I see from my own data from DataMites,
Mhm.
I see more of non-IT engineering folks getting into data science than actually computer science folks, especially mechanical, civil, and chemical. These folks actually crack interviews. These folks actually get into the job much earlier than the IT. This is my own observation. It's data driven. It's not just opinion. I looked at the data. So, question to you: why is that? How are you guys able to beat the computer science guys? I mean, from your own
Uh,
perspective, I mean, it could be the same answer that you are passionate, etc. But is there anything
yeah.
else? What you could think of? Yeah.
Uh, like coming like if any candidate comes from the code engineering background, like once they are exposed to the field of data science, first of all, like they see like what like it's a complete different thing, and once you start doing that, it's a way different thing you do in data science that like as compared to your code engineering jobs. So it's a newbie for those candidates. Like they get to learn new things. Like they add they are very well like they can add new skill into their portfolio. Like once they feel that like I'm adding new skills, I'm learning new skills. I can feel that there's a no driving force behind the no, engineering core engineering candidates because they get to learn new things apart from computer
So,
science students.
yeah, it's actually a very interesting perspective. So you're saying that because you're learning new things, it makes you more excited and more curious, and you
Exactly.
actually focus more when compared to the computer science folks who have been doing that, and then it's not very interesting for them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, yeah,
Okay, that's a wonderful way of looking at it because I never thought. I my perception is that you guys work hard because you think this is one chance for you to get into the IT field, right? You always wanted to see. I don't say it's right or wrong. I'm from electrical electronics background, but I switched to IT from the beginning itself, right? When I'm talking, I'm like 22 years before I completed my engineering. So from that day, last 2 decades, more than 2 decades, till today, people only take core fields like electrical, mechanical because they did not get the IT, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is that what is
in
still
some
there, phenomena?
it's still the cases. Like yeah, it is one of the cases like we do encounter. Uh,
In IT, it's true that a lot of people went to America and
yes.
put nice pictures, though the life is shit there. You guys know that now. But
Yeah.
but but there's a feeling that when you enter engineering, you know what, I'm not in the top field because computer science is a top field. It's a perception which set in your mind. When you get a chance to switch your field to computer science, you go all in, right? You put a very dedicated hard work to learn every single damn concepts and you get there. Is that correct? Is This is what
Yes,
I
yes,
feel.
yeah, yeah. Whatever. Yes, sir. That's the correct. Like it's the perspective that 99% of the can just be in their mind. Like they move with that perspective. Like once they get the opportunity to crack the field in computer science, they don't miss any chance. So they go all in to crack this job. Yeah.
Correct. And the people who are from computer science, they already feel privileged and they don't put enough effort. It
Yeah.
looks like a rabbit and tortoise race, isn't it? No, 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 not from a speed perspective, from a capability perspective.
Yes.
But I think I learned something from today. Okay, good. So from what Srivastava is saying is that your hard work, passion, dedication is what gets you the job.
Yes.
and dedicatedly how to put X amount of hours every day. What's your X amount of how many hours you study per day, Shivas?
Uh, like frankly, I don't look at time when I like look at my watch to when I study about like anything related to data science. I thoroughly enjoy the process. Like whenever I get chance, I do study. Like when I'm traveling or I'm not doing anything, I do switch on like do start a video and start learning new things. There's plenty of things to learn in this field. That's the plus point. Like your learning doesn't stop every now and day everything and new technology comes in and in these days generative AI is becoming very popular, so we get to learn new things, so that's drive me to learn new things and to start being updated with the new technologies that is coming. Yeah.
So you're aware of the power of Gen AI, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So what do you think? Does Gen AI take away your jobs? Is that what you believe as well?
Yeah, there's a like plenty of discussions going around with the same topic, but as far as my understanding, only those jobs will be replaced who cannot employ generative AI in their field. So once you learn generative AI and like bits of generative AI, and then you are safe and you're good to go. There's no need to worry about that.
Correct. So simply put, not every job can be automated. That's
Exactly.
that's number one. In fact, in your projects, getting data is the first step, which is also a more complex step. This cannot be automated. This is to do with a lot of searching for your data, brainstorming about which fields actually matter, and also dealing with the data privacy and stuff. Gen AI can't do anything. Of course, it might help you a bit in terms of data cleaning, automated. Of course, you can deploy and retrain the models automatically. Yes, and Gen AI actually creates new content. Actually, that's what the actual Gen AI is. It actually come up with a new content or creative stuff, right? It could be images or videos or whatever it is. This has nothing to do with affecting the current data science job. The overlap is really minimal.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, even the automation has nothing to do with Gen AI. Gen AI is about creating new creative content. It could be a text, it could be video, it could be images or whatever it is, right?
Right. Yes.
Has really nothing to do with data science jobs. Of
Yes.
course, automation will take away some jobs, but the number of jobs created in data science is much more than the jobs which is taken away by automation. Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, so I think I have all the. So, okay, let's talk about interviews. So, how many interviews you attended before you land up in this job?
Sir, Roombr was my first interview. Like,
Okay, you
yeah,
cracked first.
it was my first interview.
No
So
fun. You
yeah,
didn't feel at all. Okay,
yes, sir.
you did
It
not
was
feel. Okay.
it was my first interview, and like I was a little bit of I was nervous a little bit. Like I was getting the first opportunity to in the data field. So yeah, it went well, and I was pretty confident that I'll be selected. And after I got the call from project manager itself that they are pretty much satisfied with how I have performed. So then I got the positive sign from Roombr. So I was very confident from the interview.
As I said, I would hire you maybe in the future because you started your career. So yeah, that's very good. So I'm not surprised that you got into it in the first round. That's very good. Any experience you could share in your first like your interview, like what kind of questions they've asked? Yeah.
So basically they asked me to the most important part of the interview was to they asked me to explain the one project end to end, like whatever you do you just know from where it is coming and how you're doing. You should be thorough with each and every step that you're doing in that project. So like from where you're getting data cleaning, data pre-processing, and model building, and deployment even. So you should be thorough with each and every step. They asked me they went into a depth in each and every step. So I was able to explain them like how I did it, and the reasoning behind that, why I did it, how I did it, and why I did it. That was very important. Like why I'm doing this, why I'm not doing, why I'm employing this model, why I'm not employing other machine learning models. So there should be reasoning and logic behind it. And there's no free lunch in machine learning. You just need to do like uh, try different machine learning algorithms and end up getting the best algorithms for the data set. So it should be thought of each and every step, and that's how what that was the main crux of my interview.
Wonderful. So I think that's how the good interviews should go. You touched many points. Let me just break it down for the people. So the number one thing in any of the machine learning interviews, as Srivastava said, is that you just explain what you have done, right? And also alternatives. Remember, there are no perfect answers in machine learning. For example, if someone asks you, what's your favorite algorithm? Like which algorithm you think best suits for this case? You can't say any answer. The way we do that is by trying out different algorithms, right? And see comparing the accuracies or other metrics as you have. And then you keep on doing it. And in the process, we again go back to the data and feature engineering and do something over there, come back, change the parameters. And we keep on trying things out. In fact, machine learning itself or AI itself is trial and error. That's the actual logic. That's why we need people to do that. If it is pretty straightforward and you could pretty much automate it, you need people because you need to come up with the creative ideas of changing the variables and keep trying it again and again, not giving up. Sometimes transforming the variables, coming up with the derived variables, right?
Yes.
So when you explain this in the interviews, as you did, right, then this is kind of answer they look at because it is not like the previous other software jobs where they'll ask you what is data structure, how many data types you have. No, those are gone days. Nowadays, you don't really have to answer a question with something which you can remember or Google. What you really have to give them, or what they're expecting, in other words, is that are you able to do the project? Are you involved in it? Right? How are you executing it? Have you done it? How do you fine tune this data? How do you improve the efficiency? Right? How do you work with other team members? Right? How do you get the data from? How do you deploy it? What's the value you have actually added through this model to your business? Right? Every ML model or AI model, data science models, ultimately has a business value. So, what is the business value? So, if you can say that, a lot of people also think that it's the language you need to be very good. The communication is very good. But let me tell you, of course, a decent communication is required, but that's really not what we look at any AI or data science engineers. Srivastava, you have a good communication, but I think it's not the communication because personally, I don't really mind unless you are able to express in some way, right? It's your passion towards doing that project and how did you do it, right? And what are the methodologies? Because obviously they're going to teach you because they might be using some framework, they might be using some particular platform or some package. So they will teach you. Your seniors will teach you. They spend at least a month or two to get you up to the speed. What they look at is that are you really a person who can learn, do things, the good basics is what is needed. If you can do that in any manner, I think that's a good interview, right? And nowadays interviews are more like looking at each other's matching. It's not like, I'm going to give a job. It's two-way now, right? I should also select the employer. The good resource always have multiple options. So for employers, they need to sell themselves as well, right?
So
Very
one thing I would like to suggest, as you mentioned that like how what you're doing is how it's affecting the business case. Like in my interview, I explained that the one live project that I did to increase the lead categorization accuracy. So I kind of explained like I was able to get the 20% increase in accuracy, like doing like employing the perfect like I employed a random forest model on that data, so I was able to get 20% increase in accuracy. So that can directly affect to the whole business case. So that is one of the most important, right? How you are helping the business to improve.
20%.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
What was the one you're using before Random Forest?
So and for us, I was using logistic regression.
Yeah, that's the basic.
Okay.
And how many classes we have? Only two. It's a binomial
Yeah.
classification.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, cool. That's all. And open to questions. Anyone has any questions you want to ask specifically to Srivastava or to me or to DataMites, feel free to put in. And DataMites team, please watch the other channels, LinkedIn and YouTube, etc. Any questions, please put it back here. A question from Nikhil. How many projects in total you have practiced before getting the first interview? It's to you.
Okay.
Shiv.
So I completed 4 capstone projects. Yeah, there's a 4 capstone project that was like that was provided to us. So yeah, the 4 capstone projects, and there are like a fair bit of small projects while learning. I did small projects while learning, and these 4 are major capstone projects that I did before the interview.
Haven't you done anything in Kaggle and other areas, like other projects which you practice?
Like getting the data set from Kaggle and like
Yeah, doing
yeah,
some.
yeah, yeah, yes. I like
How
yeah,
many of that?
about 8 to 10 projects. Yes,
So 8 to 10 projects which were you done by yourself by downloading the data,
yes.
and then 4 projects from DataMites,
Yes,
right? And this call is coming from DataMites placements, right? It when placement team actually got you this interview
yes,
call.
yes.
Okay, Nikhil, I hope that answers your question. So about 18, like 14, 15 projects is what he has done before getting his first interview. Any other questions? Seconds. DataMites team, could you confirm there are no other questions from? Okay, I have another question. Okay. Maths and stats, how was the weightage? Okay, in the interview, I guess. So how was the weightage in interview for maths and stats? Did they ask anything in maths?
No, not exactly. But they did ask me about the whole project. Like if there was like I've explained my project like end to end. Like if your project involves like lot of statistics behind that business case, that you will have to explain that to the interview. In my case, maths and statistics was not very much involved, and they didn't ask me straightforward about maths and statistics.
Yeah, that answers. But from my opinion, I think maths is not really focused nowadays. It's mostly statistics.
Yes,
They might touch a bit in Python. Even
yes,
that's what they mostly ask about the project and how you execute
yes,
it.
yes.
I don't see any question in LinkedIn. Okay.
What topics?
One question here. So Neha has a question. And what topics are important according to you for the interview?
Okay. So you can expect like bits of hands coding on Python and basics of statistics and machine learning algorithms. So you should be versed with one of like 2 to 3 algorithms. You should be very confident with those algorithms. So they'll asking a bit about machine learning algorithms, and if like they can ask about deep learning algorithms also. So the deep learning is also like it's very common. It's not new for any aspirant. Like, you have to go learn deep learning algorithms also. So you have to be very confident confident with these algorithms. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Simply put, you have to be good with most of the popular algorithms. I can give you some. Random forest is very obvious, and then
Yes.
anything related to trees like XGBoost or any boosting and algorithms. Support vector machine, naive base for text classification, neural network, of course, and deep learning algorithms, including CNN based models and stuff. This is good enough, right? And people might ask you about the stacking, right? Ensemble techniques. How do you stack models? So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
something you can also be prepared for the interviews.
And what I have observed that many interviewers do ask about feature, like how feature selection, like how you like handle the different features, encoding techniques or standardization, normalization. These are the few things you should be very confident with that in the interview.
Missing value treatment, computation, and
Yes.
of course, standardization. Difference between normalization and standardization. Typically, we go with standardization. It's just a Z value. We convert the values into Z values. Right. Good. I have no further question today. Surprisingly, less questions. That's good. Thank you very much, Srivastava. And as I tell to everyone who I take success stories, this is your first stepping stone, and keep up your rigor. I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you this. I can already say that keep learning, keep updating yourself. Make sure you get into good projects when you're doing, right. So the first projects are very important. Choose a project which has more learning opportunity than something which is easy. All right. So usually larger challenging projects have more learning opportunities. And also try to get an overall hang of where this field going on, because there's a lot of tools getting introduced in the market monthly basis, a lot of new tools getting released. So keep a track of new tools and see how it could help in your career. That's all from my side. Thank you very much for taking this time. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching this. I hope this is useful to you. And if you have any questions, you can directly reach Srivastava or DataMites or me through LinkedIn. I wish you all the best as well. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thanks.
guys.